What's up YouTube? My name's Quickie, welcome back to the channel. Right, lots of stuff going on. We're going to get to all of it in a sec. At the minute, it's now Friday. I still look like a minion because I've literally just come back from my work and I've stopped in here before I go home because we're packing up and everything and we're off on holiday to Crete tomorrow. So there's a few little bits and pieces that I need to square away and get sorted, which is why I'm in here now doing a sneaky one. So, recently posted a video up about this. It was only a dead short one. The best comment anybody made on that one was they went, "So has Delboy made you a number plate holder then?" Brilliant. Coffee came out my nose when I read that one. No, he hasn't. This is actually from work. As you know, I work in a model shop. And before I joined them, one of the customers asked them to build this thing, and it's part of a counterweight system that we was going to use for testing. Built it up and everything else, and then plans changed and they don't need it anymore. So basically it's scrap. And we was told to cut it up. And I went, "Oh, that's a bit of a shame, I could have used that." So the boss went, "Well, take it then. Just, have it, get rid of it today." I went, "Yeah, okay, cool." So that's how come I've landed with it. And it's going to be so useful, it really is. Well, so are these things as well. But this is going to be my new fabrication table. At the minute, I don't know if you remember this little thing that's sitting in the corner. It's like a metre by 800 or something. It's not very big. And it is a tiny little Weld table. I made that years ago and it served me well, but it's not flat, it's not big enough. I can't jack it up and get it level and all that sort of stuff, so it needs to change. And I've also got so much stuff shoved underneath it that, it's just getting impractical and awkward to use. So I'm building myself a proper fabrication table. This is made out of 80 by 80 by 3mm wall thickness mild steel box section, and it is lovely and flat too. It is properly flat. Boys at work did a good job on that. The back bit was welded sort of where you see it on that side, but we had to chop that off. It just made loading it a little bit easier, but I've got use for that as well. So this is going to get some legs put on it. We'll have a frame around the bottom of the legs and some bracing and blah de blah de blah. We'll have somewhere for the cylinders to go. I'm probably going to be upgrading Brenda the Bender as well, because I've been looking at some of the machines at work and I've got some new ideas which is just going to make it better at, and I am going to need it for when I do ASBO. So that is probably going to get built into one of the ends. We'll have a swivel vise on it as well. The chuck, the independent 3-jaw, sorry, the standard 3-jaw chuck that I've got, the self-centering one, that's going to get upgraded, so that chuck is going to be up for grabs. So I've got a sneaky idea of how to make a rotary weld table as well. I'm not sure that's going to be part and parcel of this. It might be, I don't know, we shall see. But either way, that's what this is going to be. I've got some jack up feet as well, some really oofing great big ones. That's like a 14mm thread on that. So I'll be able to jack all this thing up and get it absolutely cock on, level and square in every direction, which will be handy. And I've also got some massive roller casters, like swivel ones, 4 of them, again from work, from a product that we were scrapping because it had been through testing, and anything that's on a test bed we can't use, so it all goes in the skip. So I had the wheels off that, with permission of course, and they're going to be going on here as well, and they're proper big old heavy duty jobbies. So I'm looking forward to that. Basically I'm going to be chopping the bench down to about here, and it's going to be sitting in there. If I need to shuffle stuff around, I'll shuffle stuff around, that's fine. So when I come back from my holidays, that's probably going to be job 1, because I need the space. I've got no room in here at all. The other thing that is screwing things up is all Steve-O's stuff. You can see Jixit's frame over there, the swing arm there. I've got wheels, I've got his tank, I've got boxes of stuff, his seat, his M unit, his handlebars, all that gubbins is up there as well. I need the whole lot going, just gone. So as soon as I come back and I get this done, he's going to be coming down and we're having a clear out. Everything is going. that is not anything to do with ASBO. So basically I just need the decks cleared so I've got room and space to get stuff done. Once that's up and kicking, I'm going to start stripping ASBO down, and I'll show you what I'm planning as well, because it sounds quite good in my head anyway. Where are we? Let's move you over here. Sorry about this, I can't edit the video. I don't have a laptop because PC World is still being an absolute goon about it, which is why it's all been shot on my phone and just not edited at all. Right, so there you go, that'll do. So ASBO is the only project I want going. There's a test bed. It's a Triumph Daytona 955i front end. I've made my own top yoke. That's all sorted. I've just got the holes to do for the indicator lights, but because things have changed, I'm not going to do that until I'm, ready to install it. Basically, there's no point. Honda CBR 600RR rear shock, Bandit 1200 swing arm and rear wheel. And it's got the own exhaust system and all that sort of stuff to it as well. The thing that screwed things up is the wiring. The wiring is completely shot. I didn't realise quite how bad it is. So the choices that I've got was to replace the loom, fix the loom, stick an M unit in, or just get on with the project build basically. All the first three options are going to take time. The weather's turning, it's been raining most of this week, and part of the thing was that I wanted to go out and lean on it once I got the tyres bedded in, because these are brand new tyres and they're going to be a little bit on the slippery side. The trouble is I'm just running out of time now. I ain't going to get it done. So I posted the video and everyone went, build the bike. Like everybody went build, say everybody, pretty much everybody. So that's what I'm going to do. So once I get that fabrication table done and I can have a bit of a clear out, I've got loads of stuff to get rid of. I've got all the old Bandit 600 stuff. I've got clocks over there that I need to send to mate who got in touch. I've got old lathe bits from where I did it up. Well, they can go, they're no good. Like the lead screw and nut for the cross slide and all that stuff. I've got loads of stuff that I just don't need or particularly want. So I need to get rid of some of it. So that's all going to go. We're going to have a bit of a clear up and sort out. So I've got all the space I can possibly get. Then this is all going to come apart. Like totally apart. And step one is I'm going to be making a frame jig on my new fabrication table, because I want it to get it all absolutely dead cock and square and all that sort of stuff. I'm still undecided about the frame. I know the frame is going to change because I don't like all this, but I hate breakaway frames and I really fancy the idea of having a go at doing one myself. So we just keep like the headstock bit and we'll just change everything else. That'd be fine. But the frame jig is going to be built to mirror this frame. It will be adjustable, for like headstock angles and all that sort of stuff. And I'll be able to position things where I want. But I want to set it up so it's for a Bandit frame and then mark everything. So if I need to replicate it, I can do. Because all the geometry for this is worked out based on the current frame. The only thing I haven't worked out is what difference the change in tyres is going to be. Because we've gone up. We've changed tyre size basically. It's bigger front and rear, but the rolling circumference is going to be different. I haven't worked it out and plugged it into the thingy yet, so I don't know what the difference is going to be. That was going to be part of the test riding that I was going to do. I ain't doing that now. I'm building it. So the bike is going to have to be adjustable. So what the plans are, I'm going to have the frame off, do the jig, and then I'll make the decision about, do I keep that bit of the frame and change this bit, or do I just remake the whole lot? What I could do is remake everything from there back, and if I decide, this is going to work out all right, then I'll just have the headstock, which is basically the identity of the bike, and I'll stick it on the new frame that I make. That'd be fine. It might work, I don't know, we'll give it a go. But everything is coming out of this and then it's getting built. So basic plans are, it's going to be a Cafe Racer. That exhaust that sits up there that I made out of bits and pieces for Jixit, that's going on because I want to hear it. I want to see what it sounds like. All the running gear, suspension and blah de blah de blah is going to be as you see it, apart from maybe the swing arm. I really like the idea of having to go out making my own swing arm. This one is nasty and scuffed up. I could repair it, but it's really nasty and scuffed up. So I might be making a jig for that and having to go out making my own swing arm. And if I do, it's going to be tubular, not boxy. Because boxy and tubes just don't really go, in my humble opinion. I'd rather it was all round like that. So we're going to have a crack at that as well. Jamie is still up for helping with the engines. So this engine is going to come out. It will be a cases apart, complete rebuild. And we will have a few options. So could keep it as a 600 and tune it a bit. I don't know, we'll see. I could big bore it to 750. I could go 1200 if I really wanted to. I could go completely nuts and do a turbo. But I'm thinking that's going to be later on once I've got other stuff sorted. I like the idea of keeping it 600, just breathing on it a bit. Just because the suspension and the frame and everything else should be more than man enough for the power it produces. So you can really grab it by the scruff of the neck and have some fun if it all works properly. So I think that's probably the route that we're going to go. But it's going to look dead nice, not like that. Carbs and everything, and the casings, that all needs to be cleaned, which brings me on to the shit blaster. I don't need a shot blaster, I've got a jack 2 doors down, and he's got a hoofing great big one that does it way quicker than that. So that is probably going to get turned into a vapor blasting cabinet, because I've already got all the stuff, bar a couple of bits and pieces. So that's going to be another project that I'll do when I get to the point of having to clean all this up. The idea is, with the tank on here, just to give you an idea as to what sort of bike I'm going to be looking to build. Cafe Racer styly, back end might be similar to Jixit, or I might change it up because I've already done that one. But basically a Cafe Racer rear end, the battery will be in the back of it. All of this lot is going to be open, you know, normal rules apply sort of thing. It'll have different rear sets because I don't like them. And it'll have a different swing arm because I don't like them, and it'll have Jixit's exhaust on it. The engine will get painted, carbs will all get spritzed up in my vapor blaster and rebuilt and blah de blah de blah as needed. Like we've got a throttle position sensor on here that we just don't need. The airbox I hate, so that's going to be gotten rid of, and the idea is that the tank that sits on here, I'm going to hollow it out basically. So the back end of the tank, it's all going to look Bandit tank from the top, but the back end of it is going to be hollowed out, and that back portion is going to be the airbox. So there will just be tubes that come off the, like velocity stacks basically, that basically come off the carbs, all be the same length, and they'll disappear into that, that airbox that sits underneath the tank. As far as frames and stuff goes, I think it's this bit here that kind of, you see it, you instantly think Bandit. I don't know why, I do in my head. So I'm quite keen to keep that and the shape of the tank. However, I might be making my own tank as well, but it'll be based on that. It'll probably be a little bit longer, maybe a little bit fatter in the rear. I don't really know. We'll have to work it out. And then it'll be a solo seat. Jobs are good. All core will basically be where it is. The headers, I'm using the ones that I made for that exhaust, so it will run down in line with the frame because I'm going to be keeping that same, you know, sort of physical size. If I do the own frame, it's going to need to have different engine mounts, because I don't think you can get this engine out, because the engine mounts and plates that the engine bolts up to is all part and parcel of the frame. They don't come off, so they would need to be made detachable in order to get the engine out. But you get the gist. Monoshock in the rear, we're not doing twins. And that's kind of it really. As far as the headlamp goes, I've got that one over there, I don't like it. I want to get one with a rounded back. And it's going to be the same sort of approach that we were taking on Jixit, where there's a tube that runs from there to there, between the top, you know, the underside of the clip-on and the top of the bottom yoke. That'll have brackets built in for it, for the headlamp to go on. But the idea is I just want to hide all the fixings, like everything. As far as electrics goes, well, the coils are fine. I don't really know why Steve-O upgraded them. I don't get that at all. We'll probably be going with a lithium battery and an M unit blue, because I really want to have a go at wiring one of them up, and it's going to simplify all this stuff, because you lose the fuses, the relays, everything. It's just M unit, ECU, basic wiring, and you ground everything through the frame. So, you know, it should be pretty simple stuff, really. The hard bit, as far as changing the front and the rear and all that other stuff, is basically done. So the rest of it really is a case of fabrication, strip and clean what you got and stick it all back together again. That could be oversimplified, but that's basically what I'm looking at. I don't really want to go potty with it. I know in my head what I want it to look like. I want it to be like a bare bones bike. Like, it doesn't look like there's enough on there to run the bike, and that you can see big gaps through it and everything else. Everything's clean and tidy. No nasty welds like this. Everything will all be dressed up. No stupid covers for stuff that you don't need. No plastic jobbies, you know. And like the hoses and the wiring and all that stuff rooted in sensible places. But with the suspension we've got, it'll all be adjustable. That's the other thing. It's dog bones. I want to be able to adjust the rear ride height. So I will be making some adjustable dog bones. Instrumentation stuff you've already seen. But that's basically what I'm looking at. So I would be interested to hear your thoughts, actually. But that's what I want to do. And this is the only thing that I want to do. I just want to be able to crack on and get this stuff done. Now, as far as work goes, at the minute I'm working days, which is from 7 AM to 3 PM. But because I'm not working in the evenings, I tend to have to do other stuff now. So evenings is kind of pressure, which pretty much only leaves me the weekends, until I go back onto back shift, which is from 3 till 11, because I can come in here in the morning and get stuff done. But once we start on it, we're just going to push on it full bore, and we're going to get it done. As far as you know, approaches that's going to be, it is going to be done in major chunks, if that makes sense. So the frame will obviously be the first thing. There ain't going to be any tabs or anything else, and that's all just going to get added as I need to add it, and we'll figure out cable runs and all that sort of stuff. And then the whole engine, you know, the stripping it, the cleaning it all up, the rebuilding it, the measuring it, the checking it, the setting it up, all that other stuff, that'll all be its own little piece, and we'll stay on that until it's done and ready to go back in. Same thing with carbs, build the air box, do the tank, blah blah blah, you get the gist. But essentially it's just going to be a ground up build, and hopefully I'll end up with something quite cool which I can then part company with later on, and that will fund the next one, because I quite fancy having to go at a 1200. I really quite fancy having to go at a turbo, because I know Jamie's done them. But we shall see. That's what the plan is. So anyway, all this is going to take me a while, but I wanted to lay it out so you know what's what. Brian sorted. There's a few little bits and pieces of tooling that I want to get, but I'll just get them as and when I need them. We have got the upgrade still to do on Chuck. So we've got the controller and the inverter and the touch panel and all that other stuff. So at some point, hopefully Jamie's going to be wiring all that lot in, because then I can run it at much slower speeds. So I'll be able to do things like single point thread cutting and various other bits and pieces, which I'm going to need to be able to do on this, because I want ride height adjusters for that shock and blah 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 blah. You get the gist. But the only changes that's going to be happening in the shop is going to be based on giving me the tooling and the capability to get this done how I want it. And hopefully it will turn out a peach. It should be really good, really good. I know Steve-O keeps on bleating on about, oh, we could do Jixit afterwards. We'll have to wait and see, because I want to do once I start on a project, I just want to do that project until it's done. So hopefully he would have sorted his stuff out and we'll be in a position to finish Jixit off, which would be quite cool. Yeah. But if not, then I'll just, you know, sale of this one should fund the next one, and we'll just go from there and see what happens. But anyway, that's it. So a few changes for the shop. That's the plans for the bike. I would be interested to hear your comments on any of this stuff. I know I haven't done work in here for a while now. Well, I have, but you ain't seen it because it's all on my laptop or on my phone and it hasn't been edited yet. I'm just doing these stupid little updates on my phone and uploading whatever I've done. But you know, there is a truckload of stuff that's been going on. I just wanted to share the plans and what's going to happen and give you some sort of time frame, so you know I haven't forgotten about you basically. But there you go. So that's where I'm leaving it today. It is just an update video. I haven't got anything else to show you. As soon as I come back from holiday, I'm on the case with that, and as soon as I get home, I'm on the case with PC World to sort my laptop out, hopefully. We'll have to see. But anyway, thank you ever so much for watching. Do hope you're well and staying safe. We'll see you on the next one. Laters!